Good morning. Good morning. Hey. How's everybody doing this morning? Say hey in the chat so I can know who's on, if you don't mind. We're having technical difficulties over here, y'all. Been fighting with this thing this morning. Let's see, how can I see? I haven't gone live on Facebook in so long. Okay. Sister Rebecca says she's here. Hey, hey. Good morning. It's a beautiful day today. Absolutely beautiful. Good morning, Sister Dora. Good morning to you. And I just knew the enemy was going to try it. Because y'all know I haven't done Facebook. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a very long time. And last night, I got clear instructions. The Lord told me, go live on Facebook. And I said, okay. And I know that's him because I haven't done Facebook in so long. Hey, Sister Jocelyn. Hi, Miss Esther. And so I was like, that's odd. That's weird. But okay. All right, Facebook. Good morning, J. Marie. Good morning, y'all. Said Facebook, that's different. Okay. Because y'all know we've been doing the Destiny Momentum Masterclass, and also all my other lives have been either Zoom or Instagram, and that's pretty much it. I hadn't done Facebook Live in so long, but he clearly spoke to me and said Facebook, so I said, okay, we're gonna jump on Facebook. Yes, sir. We got it. We got it. Good morning. Oh, good morning. That's my favorite. This is my new favorite realtor in Houston, you all. Hey, Andrea. I hope I'm saying it right. She is fierce and she is fabulous and she is selling homes in the Houston and surrounding areas, and she is beautiful and doing her thing. So when he said Facebook, I was like, that's different, but okay, yeah, we'll do it. That's fine. That's that's fine. If that's where you want it to be, that's where we'll do it. And so he started talking to me about so many women right now are just worn out waiting on things. You're welcome. So many of us women are worn out waiting on things to happen, waiting on promises to be fulfilled, waiting to reach goals and dreams, waiting to see things happen in our families, waiting to see things happen on our jobs. It's like so many things, and it's so easy to get worn out in the waiting process. Like, that's a real thing. You know, we try to encourage ourselves. We try to listen to music that's gonna uplift us. Good morning, Sister Lynn. Music that's gonna uplift us. We do all the things, and it's still sometimes it's so frustrating. It's just like, when is this gonna happen? When are things gonna unfold? For me, like, when is, like, what? A lot of women that I'm talking to have those same concerns and those same questions, like, when? I'm being faithful, okay, but when? And so he told me, he said, I want you to address this tomorrow morning. And I said, okay, yes, sir, I sure will. For those of you that this is your first time here, this is Destiny Momentum, and this page was designed to push women forward. I am a push forward specialist. I'm a move on specialist, and God has helped me out of some really crazy situations. He's helped me out of some crazy relationships. And so my job, my purpose, hey Tam, my purpose is to push you from where you are to your next, push you from where you are to better, push you from where you are today to where it is that God wants you to be. Because sometimes as women, we go through things and we're used to, taking life's punches, but it's so easy to just get stuck once you get out. It's just like, okay, now what? What do I do now? Like, am I damaged? Am I no good anymore? Are my dreams dead with that relationship? Is my life gonna stop turning because of that thing that ended, or because that job didn't work out the way that I wanted to? Is my life gonna take a different turn now? Like, what happens now? And women need to know that in spite what you're in, what you've been through, God can always accelerate you to the next place in Him. And so I try my best with everything that I have and everything that's in me to push women forward. And if you can share this live, please share it out, because women are hurting, women are confused, they're perplexed, they're tired, and a lot of women are on the verge of giving up. And so if you can share this out, share it to those that women, they always sharing stuff to you and try this and do this and go ahead and go turn up here and turn up there. Share this out to them too, just like they share their stuff to you. To you. Hi, Michelle. And so my purpose in Destiny Momentum is all about moving forward. It's about momentum. It's about the push that you need to push forward in your destiny. And so that's what Destiny Momentum is all about. We have master classes. I'll do lives. I'll post. I need to post more here. I'm not that big into Facebook, but I need to post more here. But God wants you to be encouraged where you are. He wants you to be encouraged to keep going forward. He wants you to be encouraged that He's not forgotten about you, that you're not just somebody that happened, you're not a mistake, you're not just here on earth to work and pay bills. Like, there's a divine purpose for your life, and God wants you to be fulfilled in that. And so that's why the enemy tries to keep us from that. So that's why Destiny Momentum exists. That's why we're here. I've been doing this for 15 years. And I've seen God do some amazing things in the women's lives that God has connected me to. I've mentored women, and I've watched them grow into amazing women of God, successful women in the workplace. And I just thank God for using me. So I want to jump right on in about when waiting wears you out. This is a very real place. If we are honest, sometimes as women, it's like, people ask you, well, how are you doing? But they don't really want to know. And sometimes we don't really want to express all of how we're doing, because it may be too much for them at that time. It may be too much for them to take in. It may be too much for us to even express, because I know sometimes, even in my prayer time, when I go to talk to God about some things, I'm overwhelmed sometimes by the situation. And it's just like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start telling you. Like, I know you see it, and I know that but sometimes I don't even have it right then to unpack my heart, because it's so much in there. It's so many things that I'm thinking about the situation, and so many things. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to release the wrong thing, but it's just like, I'm fine, and not with God, but with people. And they ask you, well, how are you doing? And sometimes we just push out, I'm fine, I'm doing okay, everything's, I'm making it. And we have all these responses that we're pre-programmed to say, but our hearts are just full. Our minds are full. Our emotions are full. But we still manage to push out, I'm fine. I'm doing good. Some people, I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm great. How are you? I'm wonderful. Life is wonderful. And inside it's just like, you screaming inside. But we know to give those perky responses, those good, nice responses, to just move the conversation along, because we know this is not the conversation that we want to have in this moment. But I want you to know this morning, I was praying for you this morning, and I said, God, for every lady that's going to watch this live, every woman that's going to watch the replay, you know exactly what they need. You know exactly their heart's desire. You know what they're battling. You know what they're up against. And God, I thank you that you're touching their hearts and you're touching their minds as I speak. God, just speak to their heart. Lighten what it is that's on their heart and what's on their mind. And I know that God is faithful to do that. But for him to specifically tell me to address this, you got to know that you are on God's mind. You are on God's heart. And the enemy always wants to try to make you feel like what you're going through is an isolated issue. You're by yourself. You're alone. Nobody cares. Nobody's been through it. God has a million other children to worry about. He's not worried about you. This is too small for God to care about this. But let me tell you something. The word says that he perfects everything that concerns us. And so anything that concerns you, God cares about it because he cares about you. And that's the thing you have to keep reminding yourself of, even when you feel worn out, even when you feel disappointed, even when you feel like you're in that place where you're weary. Sometimes you need to just say it out loud. God cares about me. You need to hear that. You need to hear that constantly, because guess what? Sometimes the people that are around you, they may not affirm you the way that you need at that time. They may not show you the love and the support that you need at that time. I know what that feels like. But even in those moments, I say to myself, God cares about me. God cares about what's happening to me. God cares about this place that I'm in. God cares about my heart. He cares about my concerns, even the small ones, the small all the way to the big. He cares about my concerns. He cares about my heart. He cares about my life. He cares about my health. He cares about me. And that's something that I have to constantly say, to pour into my heart, to pour into my spirit, to pour into my ears, that yes, God does care about me. Because sometimes, y'all know, my friend, I don't know if she's on here or not, but my friend Jonetta, she has a brand called For Her By Her, and it's a Christian-based business. It's amazing. She has prayer journals. She has all kinds of Christian apparel, and I love her shirts and sweatshirts and all the things. But one of my favorite ones that she has says, God don't play about me. Listen, I believe that wholeheartedly. I've seen God do some things to prove that he does not play about me. If you know God don't play about you, put it in the comments, because that's one of those things, one of those phrases I love to use. That okay, now God don't play about me. But listen, you can go through some things in life that kind of make you feel like he might play a little bit. It's like, God, I thought you didn't play about me. Okay, if you didn't play about me, then why is this happening like this? And why are you letting them get away with saying that? And why is this like, it ain't giving right now. It ain't giving right now. It ain't, has anybody ever been there before? Like in some instances you feel like, God don't play about me. I'm his girl. But then sometimes the things that he allows to happen, and sometimes the things that people do, and you can't get them right then like you want to. You can't, jump and say something crazy like it's right on the tip of your tongue, and God tell you, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't get them back. Don't seek revenge. And it's like, I thought you didn't play about me though. Like, I thought you didn't play about me. It feels like you kind of playing a little bit about me right now. Some of the things that God will tell you to do, some of the things that he'll tell you to be quiet about, when y'all, let me tell you something. You can have the best clap back of life just ready. Somebody say something or do something, and you have that read. Like you got that whole read just ready to go. You ready to read them cover to cover, just page to page. You got it ready. And God will tell you, don't you say that. And it's like, it's like, when you're kids and somebody gets a drink, it's like, but they did this to me. They said this, and God's like, don't say that. Don't do that. And it's like, it kind of feel like you, I don't like it right now. I don't like how you doing right now. But his ways are not our ways. And so I'm glad it's not just me, because sometimes that's very real. Sometimes the things that you go through and the things that you have to show maturity in, and the things that you want to clap back about, you want to get ugly about, you want to get revenge about, or you want to tell them off, you want to, gather. I got a gathering ministry. God retired me a little bit from it. Sometimes I pop out, but I got a gathering ministry. I can gather real quick, but there's plenty of times where God's like, don't say that, don't do that, don't expose them, don't say that. Just hold what you got. And it's like, really? And when you're waiting on something and you're having to be mature and you're having to hold your tongue, that's a lot. That can weigh on you for real, because it's like, I'm already having to wait. Why I got to wait and do this and this and this and not go off and try to be patient and try to hold my emotions together and not go snap, crackle, and pop on somebody? Like, why do I have to do all this and I'm still waiting to see what's gonna happen? Like, why we gotta do that? So sometimes the heaviness that we feel when we're in a waiting season. And a lot of times people think waiting is just about when you're single, waiting to be married. That is not the only waiting season that there is. You can have waiting seasons for the promises of God. You can have waiting seasons for success. You can have waiting seasons for your family. You can have waiting seasons for all kinds of promises. I mean, it's a lot of things that we have to wait on. When you decide to walk with God, there are a lot of things that we have to wait on. Sometimes we're waiting on this, what this next season is going to be. And I've been there. Sometimes when you're in a place where things are changing a little bit, your circle might change a little bit, some people might change a little bit, and you start feeling like, this feeling weird, it's feeling uncomfortable, it's giving very much, I don't know what this is. That's a real place. And so what happens is, instead of us focusing on what positive is about to change, what is this next thing that God is ushering me into, sometimes we focus on all the people changes that are going on, all the attitude changes that are going on, the things that are making us uncomfortable, the things that are shifting and changing, and responses are changing from other people. And don't go through something. Don't go through something, because that's going to bring them out. Let me tell you something. Sometimes people love you and they're fine with you as long as you are exactly what you are when you met them. And I mean exactly. As long as you stay in that little box of who they met you as, that supports them, that benefits them in a way, they're fine. They're okay. But as soon as you go through something, they got a problem. Things they kind of shift a little bit. Things change a little bit. When you go through different seasons and you're waiting and you start to see some things changing and some people changing, don't think it's strange. Don't let it shake you up too bad. Will it hurt sometimes? Yes. Will people disappoint you sometimes? Yes. I'm telling you right now, that's gonna happen. That's what happens. We disappoint ourselves, people disappoint us. It's just something that's a part of life. I wish I could tell you that nobody else would disappoint you. I wish I could tell you that you wouldn't have to feel that anymore. I wish I could tell you that you wouldn't have to have those awkward moments when people start shifting and changing. But it's just not gonna happen, because people are just gonna be people, and that's just how it is till we leave here. But the way that you process that is what makes the difference. Because what happens is, when you keep worrying about people's opinions and you keep worrying about how they feel about what you're going through, you drain yourself of energy that you need. You drain yourself of power that you need to keep pressing forward in what you're going through. That's how so many women get stuck when they go through any kind of relationship change, go through a divorce, things like that. Sometimes women get stuck in that place because they are so consumed by what everybody else thinks, what everybody else believes, who everybody believes is to blame, and they feel like they're just being so judged. And I remember that feeling, and it's hard. I hated it. It's horrible. I hate to see women go through that. People love to have stuff to talk about, and it's just you at the time. Oh, she thought she was so all of that. She thought she was so perfect. And those people that wanted your life, those people that were jealous of you, when they see things happen to you that are untoward, they rejoice and they are happy and excited, because now it's like, aha, see, I was jealous of her. She had it going on, but look at her now. What does what she's going through have to do with why are you happy about that? Like that's touching anything in your life? Like what? That is so weird to me. That it really is. But when I see women go through and I see other people's responses, I'm like, what in the world? Like, do you know that this can happen to anybody? Time and chance happens to us all. Baby, keep on living. Sometimes life will put you in some places that you never thought you would be in, having to make decisions that you never thought you would have to make. Baby, life be out here life, and you got to be careful how you handle people. You got to be careful how you get excited when people go through things, because listen, your time might be coming, baby. I'm telling you. I don't wish it on anybody, but you just never know. That I would never do that. I'm in this forever. Oh, okay. That's fine. If that's your stance, that's fine. But don't judge her because she's going through something. Don't judge her because she's been pushed into a situation where she had to make a decision for her own life and her own mental stability. Don't judge her for that. I hate to see that. It's like when you go through that, you just want to be understood. You don't want to be judged, but those are the two things that you get: misunderstanding and judgment. And there are some people that get it, and some people that are, sweet and kind. But for the most part, what we receive is a lot of foolishness. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's like, okay. And then years down the line, if they have to go through it, those same people that misunderstood you, those same people that judged you, those same people may have to go through that exact same thing. And it's like, oh, okay. And even in that, you can't rejoice in that when they have to go through what they judged you for and what they misunderstood you in. And that's in any life situation. Life be out here lifing. I thank God that he protects us and that he covers us, and that he, in every transition of my life, God has never left me alone. And I love that about him. He has never had to decide, I got to wait and see how I feel about my girl. He was going to be right there with me. Lenzia, I love you. I'm here. I'm your God. I'm your Father. I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm not going to forsake you. You are not by yourself. You are not alone. And I love that about him, because life be out here life. And yes, Vernique, life, I'm telling y'all know, y'all grown. Y'all know if you on this page, you grown. Life really does some interesting things, and sometimes it takes some twists and turns that you didn't see coming. And it's like, okay, really, that's what really? When my mother went home to be with the Lord, I felt like I should have a pass for the rest of my life. Like I should not have to go through anything else because I'm having to live without her. And guess what? Life kept right on lifing. I was not exempt from going through disappointments. I was not exempt from going through heartbreaks. I wasn't exempt in going through life and having life challenges just because I had that one traumatic thing happen to me in my life that I felt like was make or break. Like life was just like, oh, okay, all right, girl, these wheels still gonna keep on turning. We gonna keep on going. You don't get a pass for the rest of your life. You still have to deal with disappointment. But the thing is to remain close to God so that he can hold you and protect you and shield you and give you the information that you need to know. And so that those situations won't continue to drain you of the power and the energy that you need to keep moving forward. And so it's draining sometimes to go through situations and have to deal with people and things that hurt you and things that disappoint you and keep going with life. Sometimes that's hard to do, but God always helps us in that season, in that time. He's going to always give us what we need to keep us moving forward. It's not because I'm together. It's not because I'm perfect, because I'm far from it. But God is always going to give me everything that I need to push forward. People say, Lenzia, I didn't even know you were going through that. I didn't even know you had that going on. I didn't even know you were hurting, any of that. I wasn't trying to show that. I wasn't masking it, but I wasn't trying to bleed all over the place and tell all of my business and shame that person. And I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to get through. Okay. Sometimes that's all you can do is, look, I just got to make it out of this. I got to get through this, and you get into that frame of mind. It's like, I got to get out of this. But when you concentrate on all these other things while you're waiting, when you're concentrating on other people's opinions, when you're concentrating on what do they think of me, how does my transition look to them, how does what I'm going through look to them, how can I make this look better? We spend all this time focusing on all these other things that are not going to help us, that are not going to help our peace. And the whole while, regardless of how it looks, they still going to have their same opinion. Because sometimes the people that you're worried about and you're worried about their opinions, they already formed that opinion before you even went through this season. Y'all want to talk about that? Sometimes they've already made their mind up about you before you ever went through anything, before you ever had to make a decision, before you ever went through this waiting season. They'd already made up their minds about you. And nothing that you can do is going to change that. You can change your hair. You can cut it all off. You can put some in. You can go smaller. You can go bigger. You can do something, drastic about yourself. You can change your career. You can change the way you talk. You can change the way you walk. You can change where you drive, where you live. Trying to accommodate people. And guess what? When you boil it down to the granules, if they don't like you, they just don't like you. And there's nothing that you can do about that. There's nothing you can change about your situation that's going to make them feel warm and fuzzy about you. So you might as well just focus on the situation, getting through it, pushing forward, and letting God do what he wants to do in your life. You might as well. Because other than that, you're just going to be worn out and spinning in circles because you're working on all these other external things and all these other things. And it's like, it's not going to produce anything. It's just not going to produce anything. Exactly. Their own conclusions are what they believe then and now. Exactly, sis. You already know. Been there, done that. And guess what? We do not care. And that takes work sometimes to not care what people think, because it's something that we constantly have to work on, because it's like, but I want them to know that I didn't do thus and so. I want them to know that I wasn't responsible for this and that. And child, they done already made up their mind. You better move on and move forward and push through. That is the important thing. God is going to give you what you need to push through. Now, the other thing is, what steps can we take proactively to move forward and keep ourselves from being so worn out? Hey, sis, I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. Thank you, sis. So while you're waiting with being worn out, what are we doing in the natural? Let's think about it. Now, if you always feel drained, you're in this situation, you're in this place, you always feel drained. You always feel like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm so depleted. I don't know how I'm going to go on. Sometimes it's not even the situation. Sometimes it's stuff that we're doing in the natural that's not helping the situation. If you're not sleeping, door blink, that's not going to help you to push forward. And you say, well, I got insomnia because I'm worried about stuff. Let me show you the cycle. You can't sleep. You have insomnia because you up thinking about this stuff that you can't change. You up thinking about it. You got to wake up in the morning. You grumpy. You tired. You're upset. So your day just kind of comes crashing on you, and you just kind of make it through. You're doing stuff. If you're at work, you're making small mistakes. Stuff is just kind of not working the way you want it to because you're not 100%. Then you get home and you're still thinking about all these things, and you start the cycle all over again. Well, how is it that you think you're going to feel like you're rested if you don't get any sleep? Sometimes it's not the situation being magnified. Sometimes it's we haven't given help to the situation, to our bodies, to help us fight what we're going through. So what can I do in the natural? What are we eating? If all we're eating is junk food, the things that we want to eat when we go through, y'all know, as women, sometimes the things that our bodies crave when we're going through things, especially if you're an emotional eater, which, baby, if you're an emotional eater, your body will crave all the things that you don't need, and all the things that are going to have you in your feelings, all the things that are going to have you feeling depressed. Because guess what we put into our bodies, it really does affect our mood. It affects our drive. It affects our everything. It affects us. So if all you pump into your body is ice cream, cakes, pies, chips, candy, soda, if that's all your body is getting, you don't have much to work with. Your body's like, ugh! So your emotions are, ugh! Your body is, ugh! Like everything is just a mess, and you don't have anything to pull from to help yourself. Now, is there something wrong with you having a candy bar? Absolutely not. But the thing is, when you got to do all of it, and it's never just one. Y'all ever notice once you get back on like junk food, and like you have just like, you can have one little bag of like flaming hot Cheetos. Yes, that Fiji water is expensive a little bit. I can't stand the taste of that stuff. But when you had that one little bag of flaming hot Cheetos, do you notice that like the next day your body is like, we want flaming hot Cheetos and a candy bar. All right, bet. Then the next day, maybe the same day, then your body says, all right, we want flaming hot Cheetos, and get a candy bar, and get you a big red too, and then get you a purple one for later on, your body just wants more and more, and a donut, a hot one, more and more and more. And what's happening is, yes, it affects our brain chemistry. So while we're trying to fight this thing, while we're trying to get through this waiting season, while we're trying to be patient, we're fighting against ourselves with things that we're putting into our bodies. And then we wonder why. I don't know why I just feel so depressed. I don't know why I feel like this. Sometimes it's some of the stuff that we're putting in our bodies that's not helping us. Is depression real? Yes, it is. It's a real thing. But some of the things that we put into our bodies, it doesn't help us with what we're trying to fight. And it literally feeds the anxiety and the depression. So that's why you wonder, why do I have all of a sudden a taste for this? Or why am I craving this all of a sudden? And y'all, PMS can be something else too. But why all of a sudden when I'm going through this season, why is it that I have to have a whole pint of ice cream? Why, like the whole emotional eating thing, why is my body really calling for this? Why am I having these suggestions of all these things that I want and my body wants, but I know it's not going to help me. I know it's not going to help how I feel. And then on top of that, the enemy's going to use it against you because you're going to start gaining weight. The enemy going to say, well, you're going through this and you big. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. So we have to be proactive when you're in your waiting season, when you're waiting on things to happen. You got to do things to help your emotions and help your mind to help push you through what it is that you're going through. Because I know you're tired. I know that you are. But it's certain things that we can do to help ourselves. Some of the things that are going on, some of the things that happen in our lives are out of our control. And sometimes that's one of the hardest things, is that it's beyond our control. That part sucks. I hate that part. But listen, there are some things that you can help yourself with. There are some things that you can do to be proactive to help you get through this season. Yes, sis, there'll be a replay. I'll definitely save the live as long as it allows me to. Somebody pray. And so you have to look at, what are the proactive steps that I can take? Are you taking supplements? Y'all don't want to have this conversation, or maybe y'all do. Maybe this is the crowd that wants to. Are you taking supplements? Are you taking vitamins? Ladies, once you get to a certain age, you got to do a little extra. You got to take that one a day. You got to make sure you're getting your supplements that your body needs. You got to make sure you're getting the things that your body needs, that food you may not be getting from your food. These are things that we can proactively do. Have you tried melatonin? They have all different forms of it. They have melatonin. They have other natural supplements that you can take to help you sleep. Like, these are things that you can at least try to see if that's gonna help you. Don't just say, well, child, I just be up all night, I can't sleep. Okay, have you tried anything? Have you tried to take something natural? Have you tried drinking natural cherry juice? That's also a helper. You can drink a glass of that before bed, and it has it's natural melatonin in there. Your body has melatonin already, but cherry juice has something in it that works with that and helps you to get to sleep at night. Don't just be talking about, child, I can't sleep. Child, I can't sleep. I can't sleep, and you ain't tried nothing. Oh, okay. You up binge watching Netflix talking about I can't sleep. Of course you can't, because you interested in the story and what's gonna happen. You up, you wired up, you trying to figure out what's gonna happen. You gonna be up. You gotta turn it off. They have things on YouTube, not that weird spooky stuff, but they have some like rain sounds and some different recordings that'll go for like 10 hours. Because most of y'all know we're not getting 10 hours of sleep these days. But it'll go for 10 hours and it helps you go to sleep. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. It's at least try something. Don't just be talking, I'm going through this and I'm an insomniac. Listen, yes, sis, rain sounds do work. I just found a really, really good one this week. And when I tell you, every time I played that at night, I go to sleep and I sleep so good. Now, y'all make sure it ain't none of that witchy poo stuff now. Because they do have some of the other ones. I always try to drop down in that description and see what they got going on. Because guess what? I'm not about to be opening no door for no foolishness. I'm just saying. Make sure it's on the up and up and it ain't no additional things they trying to do. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But yes, I love rain sounds. Ocean sounds. Yes, that's another one that works really well. People like that. Ain't nobody, don't be chanting in the rain. Don't be trying to open nothing up in me or nothing. Jesus is Lord. I don't fool around with all that. Yes, soothing rain every night. Now, every night when I go to bed, I always play that on YouTube, and it plays for 10 hours. And I couldn't believe it. Cause some of the rain sounds are a little too much. They're a little too distracting, and I'm like, child, we not gonna do one on the rain on the tin roof. That's too much. Brown noise, yes, but try things to help you sleep. Don't just think that you just sentenced to insomnia because you're going through a situation or because your heart is broken. Like you gotta come on. Girl, not You have to watch that with that chanting and stuff, because you don't know what's being released. You open up that door, you don't know what's being released, you don't know what they're saying. And I'll be doggone if life ain't already got enough going on and I got enough warfare and prayer to do to be opening up a door for some more crazy stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. So do what you can that's going to help your body, and try things. When you try natural stuff, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Try natural stuff. What do you have to lose? It didn't work. I was up last night. Oh, okay, you're going to be up anyway. Try something else. The next night, try something else. It's a bunch of things that you can read about and try that will help you in this season. So this is another thing. Are you wasting your energy dimming your light? We gonna have this conversation today. You because you don't want the light to be shined on you because of what you're going through. Sometimes you'll dim your light for people. Sometimes you don't want to be that girl. Sometimes you want to be hidden. Sometimes you want to be out of sight. Sometimes you don't want them to know who you are. You don't want them to see who you are. You don't want to shine during this time because you hurting and you disappointed and you tired and you tired of waiting and you tired of waiting to see what's going to happen. And you just tired and you don't want to be that girl. But do you know you have to put forth effort to dim your light? You have to put forth a conscious effort not to be that girl. You have to purposely say and do, come on, sis, don't dim your light. Let your light shine. Yes, that's the time. Listen, God has gotten the glory out of my life in some strange places, y'all. In some hurtful places. God has used me in some times where I'm like, I don't want to be bothered. Are you sure? I don't want to be bothered with people. Are you sure? I don't want to have to say anything. Are you sure? I don't want to have to pop out like that, God. Are you sure? And he'd be like, yes, girl, do it. And he gets the glory. You can't dim your light because of what you've gone through. You can't dim your light because of what you're going through. Like, skip all of that. Well, I went through this and I went through that and I feel disqualified because this didn't work out and that didn't work out. Don't you know that that's what qualifies you to do what God has called you to do? One of my friends had to tell me that this week. I say, sis, girl, I look at some things in my life and I'm like, God, why didn't I have a little fairy tale? Why didn't I have a fairy tale with the, you go through high school, go finish college, you have your high school sweetheart, and then you get married and you have two children and a dog, a boy and a girl, and you live happily ever after. I said, why was that not my story? Like, I grew up in a very wholesome family. I grew up where my mama and my daddy loved each other. They didn't fight and yell around us. I've never heard my daddy cuss my mama. I never heard my mama cuss my daddy. Like, they loved us. I had a good childhood. That's what I wanted in my life. And baby, I'll be doggone if I had the exact opposite to the experience that I thought that I would have. And I always have to come back and fight this because I'm like, sis, when you look at the things that I've been through, it looks like one thing. And sis was like, listen, that is why you have to keep doing what you're doing, because there are women that are going through this every day and ain't nobody talking about it. What you've been through qualifies you. And I'm telling you, I have to constantly work on myself in every season because it's just like, God, why didn't it turn out like this? Like, I thought it was going to be this, and this. And I done went through all of this and made my little choices. And you didn't have to come bring me out. And God's like, but look at who you touched from your story. Everything that I've been through, I've met so many women that can relate to that particular situation. And I've been able to give them hope and tell them, girl, you can make it out because I did. Child, I know people going to be acting weird, but you can make it out because I did. God is still going to take care of you in spite of. God is still going to help you. He's going to send you the people that you need to know. He is not going to let you fail. He is not going to let you fall. He is going to be with you. He's not going to forsake you. I don't care who comes. I don't care who goes. God is going to be with you. That is my testimony. That's where listen, what you've been through qualifies you. You want to know how I'm able to do Destiny Momentum? You want to know how I'm able to boldly stand and speak and help women and pull them out of situations and push them on? Because that's what I've been through. I know what I've been through. And y'all, you stick with Destiny Momentum, you'll hear all the different testimonies. You'll hear all the different things that God has brought me through. And some of them, you're going to drop your jaw and be like, girl, what? Because when people look at me, they say, oh, she ain't been through nothing. She was a pastor's daughter, and she had a good childhood. She had a good life, and she's always had this and always had that. They've always looked, put together, and, she's always, lived in a nice place. She's always driven a nice car. Baby, let me tell you something. I was driving a Mercedes-Benz with all hell breaking loose in my life. People wanted my life and didn't even know what it was that I was going through. Didn't even know that I was driving that car in tears. Didn't even know the music that I had to play to keep myself going, to push myself in that season. Didn't even know. They looking at all this external stuff. And guess what? God has always kept and always blessed me. And I'm still driving fine. But you better hurry up and know that where I am today and what God has done for me, it's all him. It ain't me. It ain't because I just figured everything out because I knew what to do. And child, please, God has brought me out and he's going to bring you out too. And that's always my message. I don't care what you're in. I don't care who you're with. I don't care how raggedy it is. I don't care how raggedy they are. I don't care how they're treating you. God will absolutely bring you out with a testimony. And you can still be cute. People say, I don't look like what I've been through. Baby, if I told you everything I've been through, you couldn't take it at one time. You got to take it in doses. It would be like a several part series. I couldn't tell you everything in one place. And some of you all have the same experience. That's why in every situation, you have to keep pushing. Keep moving forward. Even in this waiting season, You got to keep pushing forward, because there's greater on the other side of this that you're in. There's greater on the other side of what it is that you're dealing with today. The hurt that you feel today, the pain that you feel today. I wish I could push a button and it just dissipate. I wish I could push a button and it just disappear. I wish I could push a button and fix everything in your situation. But guess what? I can't do that. But I can help you to move forward. I can help you to push forward. I can encourage you. And I can tell you that it's going to get better and it's not going to feel like this always. I can tell you that those tears that you're crying, you might cry some more, but it won't be those tears. Listen, y'all get me fired up, because baby, God has brought me through some. He has brought me through some things, honey. So listen, stop wasting your energy dimming your light for people, thinking that you're doing them a service. You're not. They're not going to like you anymore by you dimming your light, because they still see it. That's the thing. That is the thing. Sometimes you turn off your light, they still know you in there. They still know you home. They just know your light is off. Uh-oh. Don't dim your light. Don't turn your light off. Don't shun yourself away from being that girl. What God has called you to, and what he wants you to do, and what he wants you to say, and who he wants you to be that. Stop worrying about these other people. They don't even know who they are, half of them. Because if they knew who they were, they wouldn't spend their time gossiping and talking about you. Uh-oh. If they had business of their own, they wouldn't have to. Oh, okay. Dimming your light for people that have nothing to do with what God is doing in you. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste. Go on and be that one. Yes, Pastor, go on and be that one. Stop being afraid of her. She is your friend, okay? She is your friend. She is going to help you. She's going to catapult you to the next level. Not the old one. You know, let me tell you something. I know what the old Lenzia can do. Let me tell y'all something. I know what the old Lenzia can accomplish. I try my best not to go reach back for old girl, because I know what she going to do. Old girl gonna react and respond, and we gonna be down the road, honey. Listen, who God wants you to be, that's what you gotta tap into. We know what the old you can do. We know what the old you can accomplish. But what about that girl that God has set aside? What about that girl that God says, this is who I want you to be. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to respond. What about her? Now her, you're going to see some good things. But as long as you tied up with this old stuff, child, you're gonna miss out on all of it. All of it. Let me address this. Y'all, we joke around about this. God, I've seen what you're doing for others. I don't say that anymore. You want to know why? Because I've seen what you've done for others, but I don't know what their process was. And I don't necessarily want everybody's process. I don't know what they had to fight through. I don't know what they had to war through, what they had to cry through, what all they had to pray through for that to happen. I don't necessarily want that part. I want my custom-made blessing that's just for me. I want the promise that's just for Lenzia. Like, I like how God did that for you, but I want it how he gonna do it for me. That's like you can go to a restaurant and see something that looks delicious, and see something they plated up so well and it looks so good, and they bring it out. It's got the big old flambe from y'all remember Will Smith did flambe on Fresh Prince. It's got the fire on it, and it's beautiful, and it looks so good, and it's like, oh, I want that. I want that. Oh, that looks so good. I want that. But then you find out that 2 of the ingredients for that recipe are things that you're allergic to. Now, I see what you took to their table, and it looks delicious. It looks good. I want that. But I don't realize that what's in that, it may be something I can't stand. It may be something that I can't take. It may be something that I'm allergic to. So what I want the dish that's for me. I want the dish that involves what I need. I want the dish that's going to be appealing to my eyes. You know, you see some people that have, you know, a tall, dark, and husband, you know, what they call a tall, dark, and handsome husband. Y'all see this man? He's all put together. He's this, he's that. He's got this, he's got that. And you don't know what that man is at home talking about. God, I see what you done for others. Baby, listen. You got to be careful. And sometimes it ain't God that did it, but we're not going to have that conversation today. We can do that on another live. So be careful what you tie your mind up with, thinking that that's what you want, when in fact, God can do something custom just for you. Now listen, I'm going to give y'all an example. I was looking to trade in my car. I wanted to get another car. I wanted to stay in that same family because I'm stuck on that family. That's just what I like. I've been driving a Benz for years now, and that's just what I like. You like what you like, I like what I like. But what I was gonna do is I was just gonna get another one. I was gonna get another black on black. I was like, I'm gonna just, I'll just get it. It'll be, an upgrade. That's fine. I really didn't see anything that I really liked. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this and that's gonna be it. But y'all, in the back of my mind, I remembered, I'm like, the next one that I wanted it to be a brown interior. I didn't want a black interior again. I wanted brown interior. Hadn't found brown. All right, I'm gonna just roll with it and do the black on black. All right. God, I seen what you do, what you doing for others. I seen what you done for others. Okay, we just gonna, and I forgot. God is a custom God. He loves to do custom made things. He is not a generic God. He does things. He specializes. That old school song, I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but he really does specialize. And so, y'all, I was like, I know what I wanted, but I was like, I'm just going to do this deal, get this done. I'm going to just, go on and do this. Y'all, God told me, look again. I was scheduled to go look at the black on black that weekend. God told me, look again. All right. I'm tired of looking. Okay, I'm tired of looking at these websites. I'm tired of putting in the criteria. I'm tired of looking. And let me tell you something. A car pot scene interior, and also, y'all, I gotta get this out. The enemy really tried it. Man, you know what? It's one thing, the enemy thinks that he's doing one thing, but really he does nothing but just confirm that I gotta get this out. Yo, this is crazy. I love it. 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 Everybody get back in here. Woo. Now, devil, you know good doggone well that is not gonna work. I'm getting everybody back in. Y'all see? See what I'm talking about? Y'all see why I have to get this out? Do you see? Child. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. The enemy really tried me. I'm going to get this out because somebody needs to be encouraged. Somebody needs to hear this. So I'm going to get it out. I'm going to give y'all a second to get back in here so I can finish telling my story, child. Let's get into the good part, but God's going to get the glory. Child. Oh, crazy thing. That is how I know. Girl, it says he big mad. He big mad because I'm getting to the details. He is big mad. God is a custom God. He loves to do things special for his girls. He loves to do things special for his children. He loves to do things that people don't think, oh, that's not possible. God be like, watch this. So another feature that I love is that there's a place, welcome back, y'all. There's a place in the trunk that you can pull out, push down, and you can put grocery bags in there. You can put a purse in there. You can put a bag in there. You put it and push it back, and it's concealed. Okay, so that's another feature that I secretly love that my other vehicle had, and I wanted in the next one. So y'all, this one that he told me look again. I looked again. This feature had the car had the brown interior, and the little special feature in the trunk. Okay, I looked at the price. I'm like, God, this is odd. I know this is you. When I tell y'all it was a fight, because all kind of foolishness was going on. And so the guy told me I had financing and all that. So I'm thinking this ought to be easy. Like I'm gonna go in like the other times before, sign my little stuff, we done, all right, we good, let's go. Child, it was all kind of stuff because the car was in Houston. I'm 2 hours away. So all kind of stuff was happening. They was taking a long time. sending paperwork back and forth and sending this and that. And I'm like, child, this ought to be an easy deal. What in the world? Still praying. Said, God, I know what you told me. I'm thankful I didn't settle. You know, I don't like going looking for stuff. So, all right, let's get this done. Let me tell y'all something. I went to see that car. I didn't even test drive it. I went to see it. And I got in it and I said, this is it. And I've had that happen several times. When I walk into a place or I see something or I get in something, I know immediately when it's God. I know immediately when it's for me. Okay. So long story short, they didn't get something over and something had to be delivered and it was getting close to closing time. Okay. So I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? Like, what is it? And God told me, say, you go and go over there. Go ahead. Just go over there. Child, they closed at 5 o'clock. The bank closed at 5 o'clock. They came out to my car. Are you Lenzia? Yes. Can you come inside? We're going to get this done today so that you can go pick your car up today. We're going to do this today. Favor of God. Nobody but God. God specializes. So listen, that weekend before when I went to go see it, the sales guy told me, he said, well, I can't, I don't know if I can hold it, you know, if I can hold it until Monday. Cause he said, I know, you know, the banks are closed. Everything is, you know, everything's closed. I don't know if I can hold it. I told him, I said, do what you got to do. If you can't hold it, it's all good. You're not going to be able to sell it. He said, huh? I said, you all will not be able to sell that car because it's mine. I don't care what y'all do this weekend. Y'all ain't going to be able to do nothing with that car. That car going to sit there until I get here Monday. Oh, okay. And that's what I meant. God specializes. He does things custom for you. You don't have to settle. That's an example of a car, but it's bigger than that. Exactly, sis. What is for you is for you. God can favor you wherever you are, whatever you got going on. It don't matter who you not connected to anymore. It was about God all the time anyway. It wasn't about them. And he will give you what you want. You don't have to settle in this season. Just because you're waiting, you don't have to settle in this season. God is going to give you what you want. The secret desire that you have, that thing that you haven't told anybody else that you desire and that you want, God heard you and he's going to honor that. The enemy's trying to make you think you got to settle. It can't be that way. You can't have it all. You can't have it your way. Let me tell you something. God specializes. When it's his will, when it's him, when you are connected to him, when you are open to him and you are obedient to him, baby, he will absolutely customize for you. And I called that man Monday. I said, I'm on my way to Houston. And he said, well, nobody's touched the car. I said, I know it. They couldn't because it's mine. Whatever you're standing for, whether it's material, it can be a car, it can be a house, it can be a job, it can be something in your family, it can be something in your city, your state, whatever it is that you're believing God for. The custom things that you want, it's all good. It's fine. He can handle that. It ain't above his pay grade. It ain't above what he can do. Let me tell you something. He is a big God. He's not this little thin, frail, God sitting up, we're trying to talk and counsel his children one by one. No, he's a great, big, almighty God. That's what I call him. And he can customize for you. He can specialize for you. And this waiting season that you're in, the enemy wants to make you think that you've been counted out. He wants to make you think that you're disqualified. And I want to tell you, baby, you are qualified. Move forward. Even in this waiting season, while you're waiting, ask God. Ask him for it. Ask him for it. The enemy wants to say, you don't deserve that. You don't need that. Did I say either of those things? We're not even debating any of that. I didn't say anything about I needed that. Okay, so don't count yourself out just because you're in a waiting season. Now, I want to leave you with this. I didn't think I was going to go this long with this. Nehemiah 8:10. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Your strength. We think about joy and we forget about the strength that we find in his joy. His joy. There's strength in his joy. Why do you think the enemy fights you so bad on your contentment and your joy? Because he knows that there's strength. He knows that there's strength, there's power when you are in the joy of the Lord. He knows that. That's why you get those text messages to try to kill your vibe for the day. That's why you get around those negative people that just make you feel just That's why you keep seeing the opinions of other people about what you're going through. If you have people that are sending you crap from other people, judging your situation, if they're coming and bringing you reports of who's against you and who's saying what against you, first of all, why are they so comfortable saying that around you? First of all. Second of all, why are you comfortable sharing that with me and you know I'm trying to push through this season? Oh, okay. But that's another conversation for another time. The enemy is after you being connected to the joy of the Lord. That's why he wants you to be depressed. That's why he wants you to be sad. That's why he wants you to be downtrodden. That's why he wants you to think that you don't deserve good. That's why he wants to make you think that was the last relationship that you could be in. That's why he wants to make you think that you're undesirable. That's why he wants you to think that you're ugly. That's why he wants you to think that you don't have it going on. That's why he wants you to think you're uneducated. Baby, he is after you being connected to the joy of the Lord. Because he knows when you tap into that joy, you are made stronger. He knows that when you tap into the joy of the Lord, some things won't bother you the way that they used to. Some things won't bother you. Some words won't bother you. Some memes won't bother you. Some posts won't trigger you the way that they used to when you step into the joy of the Lord. So how do I get to the joy of the Lord? Spending time with him. Asking him to help you on your perspective, on your waiting season. Asking him, God, help me tap into your joy. Help me. You can't tap into the joy of the Lord listening to your old playlist from your old man. Oh, okay. He said, well, I got emotional ties. That song, it's just a beautiful song and it just reminds me of a good time in my life. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to find the songs that's going to remind me of my better life. You can't listen to sad songs and love don't live here anymore and think you're going to step into the joy of the Lord. That don't go together. That does not go together. And God wants you to be encouraged and he wants you to step into his joy so that you can find the strength that you need to push you through this waiting season. See, sometimes you're waiting on answers and what you really need is strength. Uh-oh. Thank you, God. Ooh, I felt that for me. Sometimes you're looking for the what and the why and the clues and the what about this and what about that, when really all you need is joy and strength to push you through this season. Sometimes that's what you need. And I want to tell you, God is going to give us what we need when we tap into him. He's going to give you what you need when you tap into him. Have you really tapped in? Have you really gotten to him? Have you really pressed into him? Have you really gone back to him as your first love? These are real questions, y'all. These are real. Getting into his presence. Sometimes we missing other people and God is missing us. Uh-oh. Sometimes we go through breakups, divorces, friendships ending, and we mourning people, and God is missing us. We miss them being around. God misses us being around. We miss their presence. God misses us being in his presence. And he's like, I got joy, right? I got some joy for you, girl. I got some joy to help you right here. Sometimes we missing and mourning people, and God's like, but it wasn't even. And sometimes we remember people for more than they really were to us, because that's who they were to us in that moment. You're not even that girl anymore. That's not even what you need anymore. You think, oh, he was all that, he did this and he did that and he had this and he had that. That was the old you that was content with that. This new you ain't impressed. Y'all leave me alone. leave me alone. Leave me alone. That part. When you know better, you do better. When you're trying to get to better, you got to do something different. You over here worried about him and who he's with and who he's dating and all. Child, leave that stuff alone. Let that man go for real, for real. Just let it go so you can step into the joy of the Lord. Look for the things that pull you away from the joy of the Lord. Those things that make you sad, those things that trigger you, those accounts that you follow that you need to unfollow because it just triggers you. You triggered all day trying to follow somebody. All day long. They posting stuff that's triggering you, got you in your feelings, got you emotional, feeling like you're less than, feeling like you're worthless. For what? Child, that's messing with my joy connection. Boom. Child, bye. Freeze. Next. The enemy knows the strength when you step into the joy of the Lord. When you push into the joy of the Lord, when you receive the joy of the Lord, the enemy knows the strength that you get from that place. So that's why he tries to pull you away from it. I like that too, sis. I heard that for the first time. Joy connection. I love that. So I'm so glad that you joined me here for Destiny Momentum. God told me to do it. I'm so glad I was obedient. I'm so glad that you're here with me. I pray that it helped you in some way. I pray that it encouraged you in some way. And I know it did, because it helped me. It helped me. I'm here because God told me to do it. And so I knew that he was going to get the glory out of it. I knew he was going to be up in here saying some things. I knew he was going to be in here helping us and ministering to us. I knew he was going to do that. But I always like to see it come to life. And so I want to encourage you, follow our page here, Destiny Momentum. It's I am Lenzia on Instagram. I have not done a TikTok page for Destiny Momentum. I've been praying about that, thinking about that. I don't know if I want to do that or not yet. I don't know. I'm not looking for no extra things to be doing just to say that I did them. I'm just saying I want to help people. I want to fulfill my purpose, but I'm not just hunting up stuff just to be doing, just to add something to my list. I'm busy, y'all. Also, want to encourage you all, go to www.destiny-momentum.com. I'm hosting an event October the 8th. That's a Saturday in Houston, Texas. We're going to be in a real cute venue, y'all. It's going to be real cute. But let me tell you something. There's something about atmosphere. I've been praying and God has been speaking to me about atmosphere. Everything that I've been doing has been virtual for the past 2 years. Ever since the last event that we did for Destiny Momentum was in January of 2020. Okay. Right before the pandemic hit was when we had an event, and everything else we've been doing virtual. I was content with that. I was fine with that, setting up at the house. And child, God told me, he said, it's time. It's time for you. It's time for you to do it. And I booked the venue the next day, literally. I'm like, all right, God, because I know this ain't me. It's you. You can register by going to www.destiny-momentum.com. And it's right there on the homepage. You can register there. Right now, the early bird is $40. After early bird, it'll be $50. But right now, it's $40. That's going to include your registration. And that's going to include lunch. We're having a chef-catered lunch. Y'all know I don't play about my food. We're not going to be doing sandwiches and knickknacks. And I ain't knocking nobody that does that. That ain't me. But if I say we having brunch, if I say we having lunch, that means we having some real food. Okay? So, want to encourage you to register for that. I want to meet you. I want to see you. I'm going to be talking about dealing with distractions, drain, self-doubt. Girl, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. And so I want to meet you. I want you to be in the atmosphere. God has shared some things with me that he wants to happen in that atmosphere. So be praying with us about what God is going to do. There are going to be vendor spots available. If you would like a vendor spot, you can inbox me here, or you can inbox me on Instagram, or you can leave a message there on the website. There's a spot for you to do that as well. But I want to see you there. It's going to be I love, y'all know I've been doing this for 15 years. I love decorating. I love things being elegant and excellent. I love that. I don't have step on events. My mama taught me that. Baby, you every time you do it up and make sure it's beautiful for the women, honey. That was her heart and it's mine. So it's gonna be beautiful, but most importantly, I want to set the atmosphere for God to do what he wants to do. I want him is of course we're gonna worship, we're gonna pray. We're going to let God do what he wants to do. It's going to be decent and in order. But what God wants to do in that atmosphere is something that has to be done there. And so I'm so excited that he's pushed me back out. Brittany, I'm so far. A friend told me to try to do an event in Dallas. So that's something that we'll be thinking about, getting Destiny Momentum back on the road. So we will see. But I want to encourage you to go register for that. I want you to be in that atmosphere. I believe in beauty. I believe in elegance. But let me tell you something. I believe God is going to do what he wants to do in that place. And you're going to, whatever it is that you're seeking after, whatever it is that you need, I believe that God is going to give it to you in that atmosphere. So I'll be posting the flyer here. Go ahead and take advantage of the early bird with it being discounted at $40. Go ahead and secure your spot because, of course, I'm not opening it up to a whole bunch of people because it's still, some things going on with the, pandemic and everything. And so I'm not opening it up to a whole bunch of people. So go ahead and secure your spot. I want it to be an intimate setting. And so we're going to feed you. You're going to be in a beautiful surrounding, but also you're going to receive what God has for you and you're going to be ministered to. And it's going to be a private time. That's one thing I want to stress. When you are receiving prayer, when you're being ministered to, I want to let you know for Destiny Momentum, you will not be recorded. It will not be, we don't do that. That is a private time. That is a personal time. What God is doing is personal. And so we are not going to turn that into content. Not saying anything against anybody that does, but that is just my commitment that is an intimate time. And so I want you to be encouraged that you're in a safe space. So be sure you go register for that. I'm going to pray before we go. Father, I thank you right now for your women. I thank God for your people. God, I thank you for the women that were here on the live with me, for the women that will catch the replay. God, I thank you that you just encourage hearts like only you can. Thank you that you encourage them just as you've encouraged me. Thank you that you push them. Thank you that you favor them. Thank you, God, that you let them know that they are not alone. Thank you that you embrace them with your love, God. And I thank you that you help them to continue to push forward. Thank you, God, for touching their minds, touching their hearts, touching their emotions, and doing what you want to do in their lives, God. Make us ready for what you want to do in our lives. Make us ready to be that girl. God, open our eyes. Show us what we need to do, the steps that we need to take. God, show it to us. And we thank and we give you and you alone the glory. And we'll be sure to tell and give you your glory for the great things that you've done in our lives and for the great things that you continue to do in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So I want to thank you for joining me here. I love you. Thank you for joining me for the live. Be sure to share the live. There are women that need it. It's broken into 2 parts. Not my fault. That was Facebook. The enemy tried it, but I still got my testimony out anyway, because one thing I'm going to do is testify. I need my tambourine. So I believe y'all have a good Saturday. I love you. Be sure you go register. www.destiny-momentum.com. We back out here. You want to be in the place. I want to see you. I want to meet you. Listen, I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. If you on this live or you watching this replay, you're connected. It's not by chance. It's not by accident. God has you here on purpose, girl. So let's do this thing. Destiny Momentum. Move forward. Push forward. I love you. I'll see you next time.